Ladies and gentlemen, this is still the Tertiary Business Sense Challenge semi-final 2. The first one was epic. It was classic. It went down to the last question. It was won via a tiebreaker by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I love violence, but I hope this second one doesn't go to a tiebreaker. The contest is between the University of Education Winneba and the Valley View University. The program is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. Our sponsors, ICAG, MTN Ghana, PwC, Gold Ghana, Glycolife, Compu Ghana, GCB Bank, Papaya Fast Foods Limited, Zenith University College, EPP Book Services, and the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, a place at the final is at stake. For Valley View University, they are making their second appearance on TBSC stage. They joined the competition last year. Last year, they were eliminated at the round of 16 by the University for Development Studies. They could not progress to the quarterfinal. This year, they have gone a step beyond. They are not at the round of 16. They are not at the quarterfinal. They are at the semifinal. And of course, like Oliver Twist, they want more. They want to be at the national final for the very first time of asking. And you can't begrudge them because they have what it takes to indeed win the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, kindly welcome the Valley View University contestants on stage. I reminded that this is their first time at the semi-final stage. They have averaged about 39 points per contest this year, and they are looking to make history and qualify to the finals for the very first time. The gentleman and lady from the Valley View University. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, introduce yourselves to me.
Okay, so my name is Mrs. Ocredo, level 400, BBA Accounting.
I'm the person of Yaboa Bright Pepper, level 300, Beard Accounting.
My name is Victoria Tufo Boatin, level 300, BBA Accounting.
You're welcome once again. Now, competing against the Valley View University is the University of Education Winneba. 2-time Southwest Zone champion, 1-time national champion. They have qualified to the finals twice in a row, 2023, 2024. They want to make it a third time in a row. But to do that, they will have to defeat Valley View University. That is not beyond the University of Education Winneba, because they've braved all the odds. They averaged 67 points this year, 2025, and they are only second to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in that statistic. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, join me as I welcome on stage the team from the University of Education Winneba. In 2023, they won the championship. In 2024, they were in the final. They were second runner-up. This year, they want to go a step further. But before that, they need to get to the final. Are you guys ready to be in the final? University of Education Winneba.
Yes, please.
Introduce yourselves.
My name is Ashimi Awudu, BBA Accounting, level 300.
Apente Matilda Jima, BBA Accounting, level 400.
Fiatira Akujo, BBA Accounting final year.
You are welcome, gentlemen and lady.
Thank you very much, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the KNUST is in the final. They are in waiting. One of these two schools will join them in the final. UEW, how has the preparation been like?
Yes, sir. So it has been okay. It has been okay.
Just that.
Yeah, so we are looking forward to go to the final for the third time in a row.
What should your teaming fans be expecting from you today?
Well, they should expect us winning this time around. Yeah.
Okay, I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
But they are coming up against a Valley View team, which is determined to be in the final for the very first time. Valley View, how determined are you to be in the final?
Actually, we can't even wait to be at the final.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. How has the preparation been?
It hasn't been easy, but we try to make the best use of our time to improve on our performance.
Okay. All right. I wish you the very best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, they are seated, they've run their mouth. They both want to be in the final, but it can be only one of the two. And that one will either be the Valley View University or the University of Education, Winneba. It will either be the Southeast Zone or the Southwest Zone. The contest will be moderated by me, of course. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore, and I love academic violence. Let's have some violence this day in 6 rounds. Round 1 will be on theory, round 2 calculations, round 3 business case of the day. Round 4 graphic business segment, round 5 true or false. The 6th round will be on riddles. We begin this round 1 from the Valley View University, VVU. In this round, each of you will attempt 7 major questions. For a major question, you have 10 seconds to give me an answer for 3 points. If you get it correct, I'll give you 3 points. If you get it wrong, the other school may take it up as a bonus for 1 point to be answered in 5 seconds. Common preamble to the 2 of you. Please take note that this one is 1 attempt only. Preamble. So for the following scenarios I'm going to give you, they relate to clauses that are used in contractual arrangements to manage liability between parties. For the scenario that I'll give you, assess the nature and effect of the clause by identifying the type of clause and evaluating the benefit and the potential disadvantage. Did you get a preamble? So I'll read out a scenario to you, indicating a type of clause as used in contractual relationships. Your duty is to identify the clause. Give me 1 advantage and 1 disadvantage of that clause. Valley View University, your scenario. GlycoLife contracts Zenith University College to host a 3-day financial literacy workshop. The contract includes a clause stating that GlycoLife shall not be liable for any damage to property caused during the event. On the 2nd day, a projector belonging to Zenith University is damaged during a breakout session. Zenith demands compensation. GlycoLife contracts Zenith University College to host a 3-day financial literacy workshop. The contract includes a clause stating that GlycoLife shall not be liable for any damage to property caused during the event. On the 2nd day, a projector belonging to Zenith is damaged during a breakout session. Zenith demands compensation.
Okay, so this is exemption exclusive clause, and it is exclusive clause because there is total exemption of Zenith Bank, and the benefit is that it will save them from greater liability, and the disadvantage is that it is contrary to the doctrine of the doctrines of equity, and the other party, when lose their property, will be at a disadvantage. So it will be a benefit to the company, which is having this exempt clause, the exclusive clause.
It is correct. UEW. During an ICT infrastructure upgrade for EPP book services, CompuGhana signs a contract. Let me take it again. All right, so University of Education, Winneba. ICAG contracts expert from Career Compass Limited to organize a corporate wellness seminar. The agreement contains a clause requiring Career Compass to cover any legal costs or damages arising from third-party claims linked to the event. During the seminar, a guest speaker makes defamatory remarks about a competitor, resulting in a lawsuit against ICAG. ICAG demands that Career Compass bear all resulting costs. ICAG contracts Career Compass Limited to organize a corporate wellness seminar. The agreement contains a clause requiring Career Compass to cover any legal costs or damages arising from third-party claims linked to the event. During the seminar, a guest makes defamatory remarks about a competitor, resulting in a lawsuit against ICAG. ICAG demands that Career Compass bear all resulting costs.
So with this, we look at the. This is the first person clause, which states that the.
Is that what?
First person clause.
Okay.
This is the first person clause or the force majeure clause, which actually states that the liabilities will be limited.
I'm not taking that. Bonus is available for Valley View.
Okay, so the type of clause is the indemnity clause. And it is indemnity clause because the risk is being transferred to another third party to take care of it. And the benefit is that there is transfer of risk that will help the company to, in a way, help them hedge this risk. And the disadvantage is that there is cost involved when transferring risks as a way of paying premium to the insurer or the other company.
It is correct. Next set of questions, common preamble. Here again, one attempt only. In continuous improvement initiatives, structured frameworks guide problem identification, diagnosis, solution development, and sustainability. The following scenarios challenge your ability to recognize the correct stage of a framework called the DMAIC framework. DMAIC. That is a preamble. Now your major question, Valley View University. At MTN, David Abubakar is collecting data on the average time it takes customer service representatives to resolve billing queries. He also establishes a baseline performance level to benchmark future improvements. Which stage of the DMAIC process is David executing? At MTN Ghana, David Abubakar is collecting data on the average time it takes customer service representatives to resolve billing queries. He also establishes a baseline performance level to benchmark future improvements. Which stage of the DMAIC process is David executing?
Okay, so this stage is the implementation stage. This is because they are collecting data this is the analysis stage.
You have one attempt only. I mentioned that you cannot change the answer, okay. And that is not correct. Bonus for the Investor of Education.
So the stage that we are talking about here is the last stage of the DMAIC, which is the control stage, where they actually set criteria and they measure performance to that criteria and they try to reduce or take corrective actions.
I'll not accept that. Now your major question. Stella, working with Ghana's logistics unit, uses fishbone diagrams and regression analysis to determine why fuel delivery delays are more frequent in the northern zone. She finds that route congestion and late loading are major contributors. What stage of the DMAIC framework is Stella applying? Stella, working with Ghana's logistics unit, uses fishbone diagrams and regression analysis to determine why fuel delivery delays are more frequent in the northern zone. She finds that route congestion and late loading are major contributors. What stage of the DMAIC framework is Taylor applying?
So the stage is the analyze or assess stage where they actually find root causes or relationship between variables and they take decisions based on that.
It is correct. Next set of question, common preamble. In regression analysis, model refinement requires evaluating not only fit but also efficiency. So with the following scenarios, you have to assess the quality of regression models using the adjusted R-squared in practical business terms. So that's a preamble. Now, Valley View University. At CompuGhana, Yusuf is comparing two regression models to explain monthly production delays. Model A includes 3 independent variables and has an adjusted R-squared of 0.61. Model B includes 6 variables and has an adjusted R-squared of 0.60. Both models meet all other statistical assumptions. Which model should Yusuf prefer and why? One attempt. At CompuGhana, Yusuf is comparing 2 regression models to explain monthly production delays. Model A includes 3 independent variables and has an adjusted R-squared of 0.61. Model B includes 6 variables and has an adjusted R-squared of 0.6. That's 0.60. Both models meet all other statistical assumptions. Which model should Yusuf prefer and why?
Okay, so Yusuf should go for the sys independent variable with 0.60. This because it shows that there is a positive relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable.
That is not correct. There's no bonus here. University of Education, Winneba. At CompuGhana, AMA creates a sales forecasting model, initially with 5 predictors. The adjusted R-square is 0.66. She then introduces 2 new variables, staff absenteeism and internet downtime. The adjusted R-square improves to 0.71. What does this increase in adjusted R-square indicate about the model revision? At CompuGhana, AMA creates a sales forecasting model, initially with 5 predictors. The adjusted R-square is 0.66. She then introduces 2 new variables, staff absenteeism and internet downtime. The adjusted R-square improves to 0.71. What does this increase in adjusted R-square indicate about the model revision?
So at the start of the evaluation, actually the adjusted R should actually explains the level at which the independence variable explains the dependence variable after you have accounted for predictors. So with the first instance where you use 5 predictors, they had an adjusted R-square of 0.66, which means that the independent variable explains the dependent variable by 66%. By introducing two more predictors, which is the staff absenteeism and internet connectivity, the adjusted R-square increased to 0.71%, which means that the other 2 variables were introduced also has an effect on the dependence variable.
Yes. Next set of questions. So with the following scenarios I'm going to read to you, you have to assess whether the expenditure item I've mentioned to you is deductible or disallowed for tax purposes under Ghanaian tax law based on the nature and circumstance of the expense. Of course, you will have 1 attempt only. 1 attempt only for the scenarios I'm going to read to you. At GCB Bank, Jessica organizes a client appreciation dinner at a luxury hotel. The event includes live music, branded souvenirs, and high-end catering. The cost is recorded as a business promotion expense. How should this expenditure be treated for tax purposes? At GCB Bank, Jessica organizes a client appreciation dinner at a luxury hotel. The event includes live music, branded souvenirs, and high-end catering. The cost is recorded as business promotion expense. How should the expenditure be treated for tax purposes?
Okay, so this is deductible or allowable expense in the sense that it is for business operation. And the bone of contention here will be that, and to see whether the expense is wholly, it is exclusive or necessarily for the business. And indeed, it is fitting these three conditions. Therefore, it is a deductible or allowable expense.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to accept that answer. I'll give you the reason. University of Education, Winneba. Before commencing operations, CompuGhana incurs 30,000 cedis in legal, audit, and licensing fees to establish and register the business. These are recorded as operating expenses in the first year of income generation. Can these costs be deducted, or will they be disallowed for tax purposes? Before commencing operations, CompuGhana incurs 30,000 cedis in legal, audit, and licensing fees to establish and register the business. These are recorded as operating expenses in the first year of income generation. Will these expenses be deducted, or they will be disallowed for tax purposes?
So actually, before an expenditure can be classified as an allowable deduction, they have to be wholly, necessarily, and exclusively used in producing the income of the organization. With this, the expenditure was actually incurred before the production actually occurs. So with this, we'll say that it's a non-deductible expenditure.
It is not correct. It is not correct. Although it occurred before revenue generation, start-up and pre-operating expenses are wholly and exclusively incurred for income production. So for that reason, they are allowed. For yours, they were disallowed, or they are disallowed expenses. You are under Section 9 of the Income Tax Act. Entertainment expenses are not tax deductible unless they directly connected to the production of income and not excessive, lavish, or non-essential hospitality. I hope you get that. So this one, we are told that it was at a luxury hotel. All right, next set of questions. This time I'm beginning from the University of Education, Winneba, UEW. So the following scenarios I'm going to read to you, they explore real-world issues around access control and information ethics in organizational settings. Your task is to identify the type of control or ethical safeguard that is being applied or that is being breached. So I'll read out a scenario to you. Tell me the type of access control that is being spoken about and explain its relevance to security. I'm beginning with the University of Education, Winneba. As part of a quarterly IT audit at CompuGhana, Nia Itegu, the internal auditor, observed that user accounts in the payroll system are automatically signed out after a period of user inactivity. During testing, he knows that if a user steps away from their desk without logging out, the system logs them out after 10 minutes, requiring re-authentication to continue. As part of a quarterly IT audit at CompuGhana, Nia Itegu, the internal auditor, observes that user accounts in the payroll system are automatically signed out, and after a period of user inactivity. During testing, he knows that if a user steps away from their desk without logging out, the system logs them out after 10 minutes, requiring re-authentication to continue.
So these are logical access controls where the organization actually use passwords and other IT-based means in order to prevent unauthorized access to the computer systems. And looking at this scenario, we can also dive more deeper and talk about two-step factor authentication, which enables the computer to log out of the system when it's been inactive for 10 minutes.
Unfortunately, I can't accept that. Bonus to Valley View University.
Okay, so this is authenticity control under the Fitzpatrick Hexad model. And here there is, it is ensuring authenticity by automatically logging out details, logging out when it is not in use, ensuring that there is strong encryption.
No, please. Now your major question. Alfred Akweje at GCB Bank. He is the IT security manager. He is reviewing the user access right for the newly launched loan origination system. He observes that loan officers can input applicant data. Credit analysts can assess creditworthiness, but cannot modify submitted applications. And branch managers have the authority to approve or reject loans, but cannot alter financial records. Each role in the system has predefined permissions based on job functions. I take it again. At GCB Bank, Alfred Akweje, the IT security manager, is reviewing the user access right for the newly launched loan origination system. He observes that loan officers can input applicant data, credit analysts can assess creditworthiness, but cannot modify submitted applications. And branch managers have the authority to approve or reject loans, but cannot alter financial records. Each role in the system has predefined permissions based on job functions.
Okay, so we can see segregation of duty here. This is such that every tax or every part of the information system, they need an authorization by a person before it can be approved, and everyone has a particular function when it comes to the every processing of the information.
No. University of Education, Winneba.
So with this, we'll talk about the actually the integrity of the system and also looking at the administrative controls that was actually put in place in order to prevent unauthorized access.
It is not correct. It is known as role-based access control. The first one I asked was session timeout or inactivity lock. Next set of questions. University of Education, Winneba. So the following scenarios explore practical challenges companies face in managing quality-related costs. For each scenario I'll read out to you, identify the specific category of quality cost involved and evaluate one strategic implication or managerial action that follows from the scenario or the situation. One attempt only. So tell me the type or identify the type of quality cost that is being explained in a scenario and one strategic implication that follows from the scenario or the situation. All right, University of Education, Winneba. David Niama, the quality assurance lead at EPP Book Services, receives a report from Benis indicating that 1,500 sets of educational materials supplied to schools under a government contract were returned due to misprint and poor binding. The issue was detected after delivery and invoicing. EPP Books must now issue credit notes, absorb the returned freight cost, and dispatch corrected replacement at its own cost. David Niama, the quality assurance lead at EPP Book Services, receives a report from Benis indicating that 1,500 sets of educational materials supplied to schools under a government contract were returned due to misprint and poor binding. The issue was detected after delivery and invoicing. EPP Books must now issue credit notes, absorb the returned freight cost, and dispatch corrected replacement at its own cost.
So the type of cost that we are looking here, due to the fact that the products actually got to the market before they incurred cost to return them, is the external quality cost. What was the other requirements? So what strategies that the organization can actually implement to prevent it? Well, to prevent is that before goods will go out, they actually do inspection and make sure that the goods meet relevant quality standards before they are gone out, and they can also put sustainable reverse logistics mechanisms in order to safeguard the goods that has already gone out.
I'll accept that. Mr. Donko is the head of production at Daily Graphic. He notices inconsistent font formatting and layout shifts in print editions. He proposes implementing a new two-tier review process, layout team checks followed by an editorial audit, to be done before files go to press. Some staff feel it slows production. Mr. Donko is the head of production at Daily Graphic. He notices inconsistent font formatting and layout shifts in print editions. He proposes implementing a new two-tier review process, layout team checks followed by an editorial audit, to be done before files go to print. Some staff feel it slows production.
Okay, so this is a preventive quality control cost. And it is preventive in such a case that controls or these costs are incurred before the printing out of the shirts. And it will help the organization and the strategic implication is that it will help the organization take preemptive action before their shirts are being produced. And this cost is preventive quality because it is incurred, it's a quality control cost incurred before, not after the production has been made.
I will not accept that. Bonus for the University of Education.
So the cost that we are looking here is the internal quality cost, of more specifically the inspection cost that deals with trying to inspect the products or trying to reduce the defects before the product actually goes out to the market. And this will help the organization because all these audits will help them to identify defects in real time and to be able to make their products reach the quality standards. And this in the long term will lead to a high profit because
I will not take that. I will not take that. What I'm looking for is appraisal costs. Appraisal costs are associated with measuring and monitoring products. So it is after they've produced, there's a monitoring and then measuring of those activities to ensure that quality standards are met. And now our last set of questions for this round, ladies and gentlemen. Last set of questions. All right. In procurement processes involving consultancies or technical services, in procurement processes involving consultancy or technical services, different methods are applied to ensure transparency, quality, and value for money. So with the following scenarios, you have to identify and apply appropriate evaluation or tendering procedures in realistic procurement context. So I'll read out some statement to you. Tell me the evaluation method. There are two main types of evaluation methods in procurement of consultants and technical services. Identify the one that is in the particular scenario and why it is appropriate in the circumstance. University of Education, Winneba. CompuGhana is selecting a consultant to lead a cybersecurity upgrade. The procurement team scores technical proposals out of 80 points and financial proposals out of 20 points. The consultant with the highest combined score is selected. Which evaluation method is being used and why is it appropriate? CompuGhana is selecting a consultant to lead a cybersecurity upgrade. The procurement team scores technical proposals out of 80 points and financial proposals out of 20 points. The consultant with the highest combined score is then selected. Which evaluation method is being used here, and why do you think it is appropriate?
So we have the quality and cost method. This is where they select project based on the quality or the standard of the product and the cost incurred.
That is not correct.
So this method is the scoring method or the percentage scoring method where they use percentages to rank the products before they go for the. So this is before they actually accept the proposal.
I'm not sure I'll take that as an answer. Do you have a bonus for me?
Okay, so this is Pareto analysis because they are using the 80-20 rule. 80 for technical and also the other 20 for...
It cannot be correct, please. And now the last question for the round goes to Valley View University. At ASPA Executive Institute, the selection of a PR consultancy firm required bidders to submit technical and financial proposals in separate envelopes. The technical evaluation was completed first, and only firms that met a minimum technical threshold of 70% had their financial bids opened. What procurement method was applied, and what is the key advantage? At Aspire Executive Institute, the selection of a PR consultancy firm required bidders to submit technical and financial proposals in separate envelopes. The technical evaluation was completed first, and only firms that met a minimum technical specification had their financial proposals opened. What procurement method was applied, and what is the advantage?
So this is the pre-qualification method, or the secret ballot method, because there will be.
Please continue.
Because they will be ensuring that.
I
Because-
cannot accept that. Bonus for the University of Education, Winneba.
So with this method, we'll go with the two-stage tendering method, where at the first stage they are actually required to bring technical proposals as the scenario stated. So with this case, we look at the two-stage tendering method.
So two-stage or two-envelope tendering is the correct answer. Now, the first one I gave you is known as the merit point evaluation system. On that note, we come to the end of round 1. All right, so we'll take the scores and then we'll move on to the next round. At the end of round 1, the scores. Valley View University had 4 points. University of Education Winneba had 10 points. We would want to progress swiftly into round 2, which involves calculations. You are free to use your calculators in this round because you have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer. If you get it correct as a major question, you get 3 points. Bonus is 1 point. 2 attempts only for a major question, 1 attempt for a bonus. We begin with the University of Education Winneba. UEW, Zenith University archives its communication data daily using a third-party cloud archiving service that charges 0.02 cedis per megabyte stored. On average, Zenith generates 1 gigabyte of communication data per day. But during peak operational periods, such as the last 10 days of each month, the volume increases by 25% per day. Assuming Zenith operates every day in a 30-day month, calculate the total monthly cost of archiving the communication data. Zenith University College archives its communication data daily using a third-party cloud archiving service that charges 0.02 cedis per megabyte stored. On average, Zenith generates 1 gigabyte of communication data per day, but during peak operational periods, such as the last 10 days of each month, the volume increases by 25% per day. Assuming Zenith operates every day in a 30-day month, calculate the total monthly cost of archiving the communication data.
So we have 1,329.87.
No, you have one other chance.
So
You've been bailed out. Bonus for Valley View University. You've also been bailed out. Now the next question will go to Valley View, but before then, I'm told the University of Education want to effect a substitution now. Okay, all right. So we'll go for a very quick commercial break. We'll be right back. A very quick commercial break.
A great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News.
From the commercial break, we are still in round 2. Value view your major question this time. EPP Book Services stores daily security logs averaging 2 gigabytes per day. The archiving service charges 0.015 cedis per megabyte for the first 50,000 megabytes and 0.01 cedi per megabyte thereafter. Calculate the total monthly archiving cost for a 30-day month. EPP Book Services stores daily security logs averaging 2 gig per day. The archiving service charges 0.015 cedis per megabyte for the first 50,000 megabytes and 0.01 cedi per megabyte thereafter. Calculate the total monthly archiving cost for a 30-day month.
Okay, so we have the answer to be 1,000. 1 million, sorry.
No, it is not correct. Bonus for University of Education, Winneba.
Okay, so we have the answer to be
We have the answer to be
409.78.
It is not correct. Let's go on. Your major question, University of Education, Winneba. Franklin Sowa, executive producer at Graphic Business, is advising on the competitive structure of the media industry in Ghana. The current market shares of leading players include Firm A, 40%, Firm B, 30%, Firm C, 15%, Firm D, 10%, and Firm E, 5%. Compute the Heffender-Hexman Index, classify the level of market concentration, and then if Firm A and B merge, calculate the new Heffender-Hexman Index. I take it again. Franklin Sowa, executive producer at Graphic Business, is advising on the competitive structure of the media industry in Ghana. The current market shares of leading players include Firm A is 40%, B is 30%, C 15%, D 10%, E 5%. Compute the Heffender-Hexman Index, classify the level of market concentration, and if firms A and B merge, calculate the new Heffender-Hexman Index.
Okay, so with the old one is 2850, and with the new one, and when A and B merges, 5250. So we can start with this. With the old one, there is a moderate concentration.
You still have one opportunity to update your answer.
All right, so with the first instance, we have a HHI score of 2,850, which indicates that the firm is actually dominated by these 5 firms, which means that there's high domination in the organization or in the industry. And with the second one, after the 2 firms have merged, the HHI scores become 5,250.
It is correct. Mr. Obuadi Tete is a business intelligence analyst at CompuGhana. He is assessing the competitiveness of the beverage industry as part of a market expansion strategy. The current market shares are firm A, 32%, B, 26%, C, 18%, D, 14%, and E, 10%. Calculate the Heffendal-Hexman Index, classify the level of market concentration, and if B and D merge, calculate the post-merger Heffendal-Hexman Index. Mr. Obuadi Tete is a business intelligence analyst at CompuGhana. He is assessing the competitiveness of the beverage industry as part of a market expansion strategy. The current market shares are firm A, 32%, B, 26%, C, 18%, D, 14%, and E, 10%. Calculate the HHI, classify the level of market concentration, and if B and D merge, calculate the post-merger HHI. Your microphone should be on. Speak into the microphone.
Okay, so the HHI is 2,320, but after the merger of B and D, the HHI is 3,048.
Two out of three. So the question was in three parts. You only answered two parts. I asked you to tell me the level of concentration, which you haven't done. All right. Next set of questions. Still with University of Education, Winneba. You are beginning this set for us again. Gameli is a customer service manager at MTN. He set the following 2025 objectives for Celestine, a team lead. Reduce average call handling time from 6 minutes to 5 minutes. That is a 16.67 reduction. Improve customer satisfaction score from 78% to 85%. Decrease issue resolution backlog from 500 to 400. By year end, Celestine achieved the following. Average handling time, 5.4 minutes. Satisfaction score, 83%. Issue backlog, 420. Calculate Celestine's MBO, that's Management by Objective score, and classify her performance as outstanding. That is why it is greater than 85%. Satisfactory, between 70 and 84%, and needs improvement, below 70%. I take it again. Gameli is a customer service manager at MTN Ghana. He set the following 2025 objectives for Celestine, a team lead. Reduce average call handling time from 6 minutes to 4 minutes. Improve customer satisfaction score from 78% to 85%. Decrease issue resolution backlog from 500 to 400. By the end of the year, Celestine achieved the following. Average handling time, 5.4 minutes. Satisfaction score, 83%. Issue backlog, 420. Calculate Celestine's MBO score and classifying her performance as either outstanding, that is why it's above 85%, satisfactory between 70 and 84%, and needs improvement where it is lower than 70%.
We have 72.72%, which is non-satisfactory because it's below the 85%.
No, it is not correct. You have one other chance.
So we have 84%, which is above satisfactory. So
I'll not accept that. Bonus for VVU.
So we have 40%, which is the classification is it needs improvement.
It is not correct. Joshua Agboada is a branch manager at GCB Bank. He set three objectives. For success, a personal banker. Increase loan disbursement from 2 million cedis to 2.6 million cedis. Cross-sell insurance product to at least 150 clients. Maintain loan default rate below 3%. Now the results. The loans disbursed were 2.3 million cedis. They cross-sold to 120 clients, and the default rate was 2.5%. Calculate success's MBO score and classify his performance as either outstanding, that is above 85%, satisfactory between 70 and 84, and needs improvement less than 70%. I take it again. Joshua Boada is a branch manager at GCB Bank. He set three objectives for success, a personal banker. And the objectives include increased loan disbursement from 2 million cedis to 2.6 million cedis, cross-sell insurance product to at least 150 clients, maintain loan default rate below 3%. And the results, the loans disbursed were 2.3 million cedis, they cross-sold to 120 clients, and the default rate was 2.5%. Calculate success's MBO score and classify his performance as outstanding, satisfactory, or needs improvement.
Okay, so we have the percentage to be 78%, and it is below.
You have it to be what?
78.
Okay.
And it is below 85, and it shows that her performance has not improved.
You have one other chance to correct that answer. It's not correct.
So we have it to be 12%, and the classification is it needs improvement.
It is not correct. Bonus for the Investor of Education, Winneba.
So we have 83.78, and this is below the 85%, which means that it needs improvement.
No, please. It is 76.67%. 76.67%. Next set of questions. This time I'm beginning from Valley View University. Valley View. All right. Stella Koko is a consumer economist at CompuGhana. She is studying how consumers allocate their limited budgets between two daily necessities, fruit juice and bottled water. A representative consumer's utility is given by the Cobb-Douglas function. U equals x to the power 0.5 and y to the power 0.5. That's x to the power 0.5 multiplying y to the power 0.5. The price of fruit juice is 4 cedis per bottle. The price of bottled water is 2 cedis per bottle. And the consumer has a monthly beverage budget of 120 cedis. Determine the consumer's optimal consumption bundle of fruit juice and bottled water that maximizes utility. I take it again for Valley View. Stella Koko is a consumer economist at CompuGhana. She's studying how consumers allocate their limited budget between two daily necessities, fruit juice and bottled water. A representative consumer's utility is given by the Cobb-Douglas function. Utility equals x to the power 0.5 multiplying y to the power 0.5. The price for fruit juice is 4 cedis per bottle, and bottled water is 2 cedis per bottle. The consumer has a monthly budget of 120 cedis. Determine the consumer's optimal consumption budget of fruit juice and water.
So we have 240.
It is not correct, even bailed out. Bonus for the Investor of Education, Winneba.
Okay, so for we have for fruit juice representing X and then the bottled with Y. So we have 4X plus 2Y is equal to 120.
No, please. No. Now your major question, University of Education, Winneba. Yomle is a commuter, spends her weekly budget of 150 cedis on bus rides and taxi rides. Her utility is U equals X to the power 0.25 multiplying Y to the power 0.75. The prices are as follows. For bus, it's 3 cedis, and for taxi, it is 15 cedis. Compute the optimal number of bus and taxi rides. Yomle, a commuter, spends her weekly budget of 150 cedis on bus rides and taxi rides. Her utility is U equals X to the power 0.25 and Y to the power 0.75. The price for bus is 3 cedis and that of taxi is 15 cedis. Compute the optimal number of bus and taxi rides.
So for bus, we have 1.73, and for taxis, 7.62.
It is not correct. You've been bailed out. Bonus for Valley View.
48.95.
No, please. So we have for X or bus, we have 12.5, and then for taxi, we have 7.5. Next set of questions, still beginning with Valley View. Valley View. Malik Haruna is the assistant producer at Graphic Business. He received a 90-day bill of exchange with a face value of 250,000 cedis from one of the magazine's major advertisers. On the 30th day after issuance, Malik decided to discount the bill with GCB Bank to free up cash for an urgent production run. The bank applied a discount rate of 3.5% per annum, and the transaction was based on a 365-day year. Calculate the bank discounts charged by GCB Bank and determine the net proceeds received by Graphic Business. Malik Haruna, the assistant producer at Graphic Business, received a 90-day bill of exchange with a face value of 250,000 cedis from one of the magazine's major advertisers. On the 30th day after issuance, Malik decided to discount the bill with GCB Bank to free up cash for an urgent production run. The bank applied a discount rate of 3.5% per annum, and the transaction was based on the 365-day year. Calculate the discounts charged by GCB Bank and determine the net proceeds received by Graphic Business.
So the net proceed is 249,270, and the interest charge is 729.16.
It is not correct. You have one other chance.
The rate is 8.75 and the amount is 8,750.
No, please. Bonus for UEW.
So for the interest charged by the bank, we have 719.17, and the amount to be 719.178.
It is not correct. Now your major question. Your major question, University of Education, Winneba. Alfred Ejay, the director at Graphic Business, accepted a 150-day bill of exchange with a face value of 300,000 cedis to be discounted after 50 days at GCB Bank. The discount rate is 5% per annum, and the bank uses a 360-day year for its calculations. Calculate the discount and the amount received. Alfred Akweje is a director at Graphic Business. He accepted a 150-day bill of exchange with a face value of 300,000 cedis to be discounted after 50 days at GCB Bank. The discount rate is 5% per annum, and the bank uses 360-day year for its calculations. Calculate the discount and the amount received.
We have a discount of 4,166.67, and the amount received is 295,883.3.
Yes. And now we will take our last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions for the round. Valley View University. Bernice is a marketing officer at ICAG. She reduces the price of ICAG's flagship program from 10 cities to 8 cities. As a result, weekly sales increase from 1,000 units to 1,400 units. Calculate the ARC price elasticity of demand. Classify the elasticity type and assess how total revenue changed. Bernice is a marketing officer at ICAG. She reduces the price of ICAG's flagship product from 10 cities to 8 cities. As a result, weekly sales increase from 1,000 units to 1,400 units. Calculate the ARC price elasticity of demand. Classify the elasticity type and assess how total revenue changed.
Okay, so the ARC price elasticity is negative 1.5, and the elasticity is 1.5, and the elasticity coefficient 1.5 is indicating that the commodity is fairly elastic, and the impact on total revenue is that since the price has been reduced, the quantity to be demanded will increase since it is fairly elastic. Revenue will increase since it is fairly elastic.
It is correct. All right. So Walali is an assistant producer at MTN Ghana. He advises reducing the price of branded SIM starter kits from 12 cities to 10 cities. As a result, monthly sales increase from 5,000 units to 6,200 units. Calculate the ARC price elasticity of demand, classify the elasticity type, and assess how total revenue changed. Walali is an assistant producer at MTN Ghana. He advises them to reduce the price of branded SIM starter kits from 12 cities to 10 cities. As a result, monthly sales increase from 5,000 units to 6,200 units. Calculate the ARC price elasticity of demand, classify the elasticity type, and assess how total revenue changed.
So we have the elasticity to be negative 1.178. And this is also fairly elastic, and due to the fact that the price has been decreased, which means that the quantity produced or the quantity bought will be increased, therefore leading to an increase in revenue.
Yes, it is correct. On that note, we come to the end of round 2, ladies and gentlemen. A place at the final is at stake. We already have the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in waiting. Will it be the UEW or Valley View University to join them at the finals? Our sponsors, Glyco Life, PwC, Gold Ghana. We also have Papaya Fast Foods, Zenith University College, EPP Book Services, Ghana National Association of Teachers, Compu Ghana, MTN Ghana, GCB Bank. From here, we are going into the round 3, which is the business case of the day. The 2 schools will be making presentations to us in 3 minutes. And we have a 3-member panel of judges to assess their performance in that round. What are the scores at the end of round 2? University of Education had 9 points. Valley View University had 5 points. So at this stage, we are going into the business case of the day. One of you will do well to go and control your presentation. All right. So if that is sorted, we are going to begin the presentations from Valley View University. Valley View University. They will have 3 minutes within which to present. But before they begin, can we introduce our judges? So our 3-member panel, made up of 3 distinguished personalities. We have Mr. Albert Ni Aitego. He's a finance manager at the Ghana Commodity Exchange. Please, may we see you. We have Rachel Naheman. She's a chartered accountant. She's a member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation. She is a lead consultant at Aspire Executive Institute. And then we have Mr. Dixon Assan. He is a consultant. He is the operations manager at Lantini Limited. He is also the founder for Career Compass Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, they are our judges for this presentation. We may begin the presentation for Valley View University, but before then, a short video. Valley View, please. Yes. All right. So there are slides, and then we can begin. All right, so that is your slide, right? So that is your timer. You have 3 minutes within which to do justice. After that, please, your time begins now. 3 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, the panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, please, good afternoon. I am in the person of Yeboah Bright Paper with my colleagues, and we are here to demystify a problem that was given to us. So to start with, as you are in your seat, just imagine of a firm or a company that is claiming that their product is 100% sustainable and also claiming that they are climate positive, thereby attracting investors, urban consumers, as well as top trade shelves retailers. But just to find out that all these claims and statements that they were making is environmentally deceptive. Please, this is not a fictional. This is indeed the case of Piva Beverages. And Piva Beverages is involving in this harsh truth against the, especially in this ESG-driven world, and to let you know that in this world, good image is not enough, but a good image without substance is just a liability. And in this slide, I'm going to espouse to you why it is so. So let's start with what greenwashing is. So greenwashing is just a situation where a company will mislead people that their product or services is environmentally eco-friendly. Meanwhile, it is otherwise. And proof from the case shows that they claim 100% sustainability, ethical source, and also climate positivity, which was otherwise. The next thing is about the ESG risks. ESG risks is simply environmental risks, social risks, and governance risks. So the environmental risks here is the situation where the company will be posing high emission based on their high-powered fuel trucks to the environment. That's environmental risk. The social risk is about the company's loss of reputation and also having bad will because of the tag of the nature pure scam, which was trending on the social media. And the governance is the poor internal control systems in the organization because of low corporate governance. Let's come to the short-term things that they can do to solve this problem. So active public engagement and social media. Active public engagement is they're going online to plead to the people and explain and give apologies and also be transparent in their supply chain. And the long term is that they should now be being part of planting trees agenda to ensure carbon neutrality and also using electric fleets. And the ethics that was violated is the transparency and honesty ethics. And to ensure that they prevent this, they should adopt ISO 14021 and American Market Association.
Thank you very much. So just to add that the case study is for educational purposes only. It doesn't reflect what Piva Beverages does. It's just for illustrative purposes only. Okay. All right. So, Inventor of Education, Winneba, the one to present, kindly move on. Before then, your video. Please, their time cannot start running now. They haven't started. We want their video first. All right. That is how UEW came by their solution. They now have 3 minutes, if their presentation can be put up, for them to begin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, studio audience. My name is Fiati Aaron Kojo, and I'm the team lead for UEW. We have been presented with a very interesting case to present on today, which was titled the Piva Beverage and the ESG Credibility Crisis. Piva is one of the most fast-growing companies in Ghana, which produces food beverages. And the synopsis of this case is that they have launched a new product where in their statement they are purporting that their products are 100% sustainable. Yes, which wasn't the case. And this is actually a case of greenwashing. Yes, have you ever gone to the market to buy a product that actually said their product is 100% natural, but you later get home, they notice that the product contains some chemical components? This is a very clear case of what we call the greenwashing. It's a very deceptive technique that the marketing companies use in order to create some advantage for themselves, which involves that they present their product as to be ethically sound or being climate positive. But in the real case, they are not. And in the case, that's what Piva company was doing. And when you do this as a company, in practical or in real life, it might come with risks. And with these risks, we are trying to analyze these risks using the ESG, which is the environmental risks. We also have social risks and governance risks. Let's take them one by one. With the environmental risks, you face climate and environmental degradation risks. In the case, PIVA was using forward-driven vehicles, which releases fumes into the environment. When you do this, it causes climate disruptions, which can lead to the fumes and lead to health issues that will come to it. We look at also social risks. Due to the fact that they were lying about their products, they will be exposed to reputational risks, which is that the customers will not believe them, and in the long run, they will lose profit. All right, and also in our question, we're asked to actually suggest short-term suggestions to short-term solutions to this greenwashing issue that arrived in the company. First thing you can do is what? Reverse logistics. Yes, the company have done greenwashing, the products have gone to the market. What can you do in the short run in order to solve this issue? You apply reverse logistics where you call back all the products that went to the market that were defective, and you dispose them well. You can also compensate the people who actually depend on the false misstatement that you made by giving them new products in order to compensate them. Going forward, we're also asked to give long-term strategies. So with the long-term strategies, you can use the triple bottom line that will actually allow companies to present on ESG, and this will help the organization. So the key principle that was violated here is the integrity and ethical, so the fact that they were lying about their products. And how can they solve this? They can actually use the use the Global Reporting Initiative that helps companies to present on ESG and move ahead their traditional profit motive to being sustainable and environmentally sound. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, University of Education Winneba, for your presentation. At this time, we are handing over to our judges to either question you or to seek further clarification.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is a very impressive performance by both schools. Please, let's give both schools a round of applause. I am particularly impressed because it tells us that our universities are churning out graduates who are specifically industry ready and are also building their competencies in terms of how you can build industry acumen to understand what really is happening in the real world. Now, ESG and sustainability is a very important conversation. I remember last year I was with SIMA. We went for a sustainability program, and one of the things that we touched on was the fact that businesses must really, work on sustainable practices. So it's very good. Now, for Valley View University, great confidence, great presentation, very impressive. I just want to add to the long-term strategies. I was just looking at my score sheet and I was like, okay, you're touching on all the key things. Just some few comments on the long-term strategies. I like the tree planting initiatives and all of the other things. One of the things you can also look out for is how businesses can engage with suppliers by having the right certification. So it's very important. And then I also looked at the global reporting initiatives that you can actually apply when you're actually doing your financial reporting initiatives. And then one of the very important things would be, and I touched on this in the first case study, you can look at board representations, especially for accountability and control purposes and implementation of ESG strategies. So you must have a board committee that is working on ESG, or sub-boards that are actually supporting, or internal committees that are actually working towards ESG applications. So you can actually look at that. University of Education Winneba, great presentation. I like the fact that you were able to touch on the key issues. I like the point on the new products, the compensation. Well, that was very key. And the fact that the ethical issues, which is very important, which you touched on, was integrity and then truthfulness. That's very key. For the future violations, you can look at issues around, SIGMA has ethical marketing principles on sustainability. Those guidelines are also very helpful. And then when you look at the United Nations Global Compact, it also helps you to be able to recommend that to PIVA in terms of helping with their sustainability issues in the future. So thank you very much. Great presentation.
Thank you.
So thank you, Valley View University. Thank you, University of Education.
Please speak louder.
So thank you, Valley View University. Thank you, University of Education Winneba, for a great presentation. So my comment is that both schools did very well in terms of presentation, in terms of confidence, in terms of talking to the subject matter. I think both of them did well. The only comment I wanted to add is with the University of Education, with the short-term strategies, I think he mentioned that they should call back the products. Sometimes I feel it's not possible. Sometimes it doesn't work, so maybe it should rather be for the long term. Thank you.
Well, I think they've said it all. This presentation, way better. The confidence was good. In terms of content, I just oppose it against even what we have as suggested solution, and I'm thinking, did you guys read it? So that really tells that you understand actually what the issue at hand is. So congratulations to you. I think on that, what I've scored is I've scored Valley View at 12.5. I think it was so good, and University of Education Winneba 11 out of 15.
Please come again with your scores.
So 12.5.
Okay, and UEW?
11 out of 15.
11?
Yes.
Okay.
So Valley View University got 11 points, and University of Education got 11.5.
Please come again with your scores for the sake of recording. Valley View?
Valley View 11.
UEW?
11.5.
Okay.
Okay, so based on your presentation on my score sheet, Valley View University, I scored 13.5. University of Education Winneba, I scored 13.
Okay. So we will find the average score of the three judges, and that will represent the score for the teams. So whilst we do that, we are going into round 4. If schools have any substitutions they want to effect, you may do so now. Gentlemen, you are welcome on stage.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, but before we go into the round 4, I want to announce the scores for round 3. At the end of round 3, University of Education Winneba had 11.83. Valley View University had 12.33. Those are the scores for round 3. Now we are going into round 4. And this round, I'm going to ask you questions on some stories that appeared in the Graphic Business newspaper. Each of you will attempt 7 major questions. For a major question, you have 10 seconds to give me an answer. If it's a bonus, you have 5 seconds. 2 attempts only at a major question unless otherwise indicated. For a bonus, you have 1 attempt only. Please, are we okay? All right. So I'm commencing this round from the Valley View University. Valley View University, you begin this round for me. Please, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, common preamble to the two of you. Standard Bank, the parent company of Stanbic Bank Ghana Limited, has demonstrated its leadership as the best bank in Africa and South Africa after all the numerous awards it received at the Euro Money Awards. That is a preamble. Now, Valley View University, you have to mention any 3 awards that the bank won in Zambia. Mention any 3 awards won by Standard Bank in Zambia.
Okay, so one, we have best bank for SMEs, best bank for Zambia, and also best bank for investment.
1 out of 3. University of Education Winneba. Mention the 3 awards that the bank won in South Africa. 3 awards won by Standard Bank in South Africa.
South Africa Best Bank, South Africa Best Investment Bank, and South Africa Best Bank, South African Best Investment Bank, and South African Best Bank for large corporates.
Yes. Next set of questions, common preamble to the two of you. As reported in the 22nd July edition of the Graphic Business, the latest auction of Government of Ghana T-bills witnessed a significant surge in investor appetite, with primary dealers submitting bids totaling 20.9 billion cedis. This heightened demand comes despite a general decline in interest rates across all tenors. That is a preamble. Now, value view. What was the yield on 364-day T-bill in the previous auction, the yield in the current auction, and the percentage difference? That's the difference in the two figures. What was the yield on 364-day T-bill in the previous auction, the yield in the current auction, and the percentage difference? That's the difference between the two figures.
Check the difference. So previously it was 16.67 yield, and the current, so previously it was 14.67, currently it's 14.7, and the percentage change is 100 over times 100 times 100. Negative 0.2.
1 out of 3. Only one of the figures is correct. Now, University of Education Winneba. What was the yield on the 91-day T-bill in the previous auction? What is the yield in the current auction and the percentage difference? What was the yield on the 91-day T-bill in the previous auction, the yield on the current auction, and the percentage difference? That's the difference in the two percentages.
For the current auction, we have 13.72%. For the previous, we have 14.65%. And the difference is 0.93%.
Yes, that is correct. But I also advise that you raise your voice a bit. We struggle to hear you when you speak. All right. Next set of questions, common preamble. The Bank of Ghana is set to roll out a fully fledged non-interest banking system early next year as part of move to diversify the country's financial sector to speed up economic growth and development. When rolled out, Ghana will join the growing list of sub-Saharan African countries that have taken significant steps towards integrating non-interest banking system or banking finance within their financial systems. The question is, mention any 3 of these countries in sub-Saharan Africa who have integrated non-interest bank finance in their financial system, beginning with Valley View University.
So we have Gambia, Ethiopia, and Nigeria.
Yes, that is correct. UEW.
South Africa, Kenya, Uganda.
Yes. Next set of questions, still beginning with Valley View University. Common preamble. Artificial intelligence is no longer considered science fiction. It is already evident in the way we live, work, and connect. In his article titled, "Is AI Replacing Your Skills?" Dr. Andrews Ayiku mentions that AI is automating routine and repetitive tasks across all industries. That's a preamble. Now, Valley View. Mention any 3 important occupations that are being refined by AI as mentioned in the article. You have to identify any 3 important occupations that are being refined by AI as mentioned in the article.
Sales assistant, project management, and the last one is, so we have sales assistant, project management, and also marketers.
Those are not specifically mentioned. Bonus for UEW.
Big data analyst, that is 1. 2 is AI trainer, and then the 3 is data mining.
Come again.
We have number 1, big data analyst, and then we have AI trainer, and then we have data entry.
It is not correct. Now your major question, UEW. While artificial intelligence will eliminate certain jobs, it will also create or generate new ones. Mention any 3 important jobs that are being generated by AI, as mentioned in the article. While AI will eliminate certain jobs, it will also generate new ones. Mention any 3 important jobs that are being generated by AI, as mentioned in the article.
We have scheduling, data entry, and then stock or inventory management.
It is not correct. You have 1 chance.
We have data analyst, AI trainer, and then data mining.
So why were you messing them up? It is correct now. Next set of questions. Next set of questions. This time I'm beginning from University of Education, Winneba, UEW. In an article titled The Nexus Between Customer Service and Brand Building in Ghana, the head of marketing department at UPSA explores the interplay between customer service and brand building in Ghana. He argues that while excellent customer service significantly contributes to positive brand perception, it should be strategically integrated with other core brand building elements. That is a preamble. Now to UEW. According to the article, in branding terms, what is customer service? What is customer service according to the article?
So according to the article, it is refers to as responding to customers' complaints, and then after sales support, and then also after sales support, and then responding to customer complaints, and then also having emotional connection with the customers.
It's fine. It's accepted. Now, Valley View. According to the article, what is a strategic asset? What is strategic asset in branding terms, according to the article?
So, with a strategic asset.
You were bailed out before you started. You want to take the bonus up, Valley UEW?
So these are their resources that are carefully managed in the business, and then are expected to yield economic benefits by using them.
For a bonus, I won't accept it. I won't accept it for a bonus. Next set of questions, still with you, UEW, common preamble. Ghana's poultry industry stands at a perilous crossroad. Once a cornerstone of national productivity and food security, the sector has been battered by decades of poor policy implementation, institutional neglect, and underinvestment. This according to Raymond in his article on Reviving Ghana's Poultry Sector, Fixing the System, Not Just the Symptoms. That's a preamble. Now, University of Education, Winneba. If the sector is to recover, Ghana must go beyond talk shops and PowerPoint promises. A national livestock advocacy action plan must be developed and implemented with measurable timelines. Mention any 3 of these strategic priorities that a country should have. If the sector is to recover, Ghana must go beyond talk shops and PowerPoint promises. A national livestock advocacy action plan must be developed and implemented
for all farmers, and they also have to advocate for the implementation of the Animal Health Bill.
That is correct. Now, Valley View. Policy influencing is no longer optional. Advocacy must be deliberate, informed, and collective. It must engage Parliament, ministries, donor partners, farmer associations, and the Ghanaian public. Mention and explain any three things that the livestock and poultry sectors must push for. Mention and explain any three things that the livestock and poultry sectors must push for.
So, one, they must push for soliciting funds so that from investors and donors, so to enhance production, and it must also encourage local producers with finance so that.
That is all correct. Bonus for UEW.
They have to look at
The bell is gone. Now the last set of questions for this round. Beginning with you, UEW. Republic Bank Ghana has reported a profit of 112.9 million cedis for the second quarter of 2025, driven by higher interest income and strong operational performance. That is a preamble. Now, UEW, what was the total asset of the bank in quarter 1 of 2024? No, quarter 2 of 2024, quarter 2 of 2025, and the percentage change between those two periods. What was the total asset of Republic Bank in quarter 2 of 2024, quarter 2 of 2025, and the percentage change between those two periods?
So, for 2024, we have the second quarter of 2024, we have 8.62 billion. For 2025, we have 9.26 billion, and the percentage is 7.42%.
It is correct. And now for our last question for this round, Valley View gets to answer that. What was the total liabilities of the bank in quarter 2 of 2024, quarter 2 of 2025, and the percentage change between those two periods? What was the total liabilities of the bank in quarter 2 of 2024, quarter 2 of 2025, and the percentage change between those two periods?
So, in 2024, it was $7.1 billion, and 2025 it was $8.74 billion, and the percentage change is 13.36%.
I'll not take that. Bonus is available for UEW.
So, with the 2024, we have 7.14. With the 2025, we have 8.74, and the percentage difference. The percentage difference is 22.4%.
You just repeated the figures that were given by Valley View. It is actually 7.74, 8.17, and the percentage then becomes 5.56. On that note, we come to the end of round 4. It is a semi-final contest between two distinguished institutions, one from the Southwest Zone, the other from the Southeast Zone. A place at the final is at stake. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has already booked their place. One of these two schools will join them. Valley View University is looking to make it to the final for the very first time. University of Education Winneba wants to make it 3 times in a row. We will take our scores for round 4, and then we can progress to the 5th round. Valley View University had 5 points, UEW had 21 points. Now we go to the round 5, true or false segment. Here, I'm going to read out some statement to you. Your duty is to tell me if the statement is true or false. If you get it correct, I'll give you 2 points. If you get it wrong, you give me 1 point. You may decide not to answer, in which case the other school may take it up under the same conditions. Each of you will attempt 7 major questions. I'm beginning this round from the University of Education, Winneba. Please, are you ready, UEW? You are ready? Okay. All right. Dallas, age 16, agrees to sell her motorbike to Daniel for 2,000 cedis. Daniel pays in full and takes the bike. This is a common preamble. Let me take it again. Dallas, age 16, agrees to sell her motorbike to Daniel for 2,000 cedis. Daniel pays in full and takes the bike. Days later, Dallas' father demands that Daniel return the bike, asserting the sale is invalid because Dallas is a minor. That's a preamble. Did you get it? UEW, did you get the preamble? Don't mind me.
Please, can you come again with the preamble?
What?
The preamble again.
Dallas, aged 16, agrees to sell her motorbike to Daniel for 2,000 cedis. Daniel pays in full and takes the bike. Days later, Dallas's father demands that Daniel return the bike, asserting the sale is invalid because Dallas is a minor. Please, you get it now. Now, UEW. Dallas has the right to cancel the contract due to her age. Dallas has the right to cancel the contract due to her age.
True.
It is true. Valley View. Daniel must return the bike if Dallas or her guardian chooses to rescind the contract. Daniel must return the bike if Dallas or her guardian chooses to rescind the contract.
True.
Yes. Let's do something on communication models. Specifically, okay, there are various models that we are going to look at. Beginning with UEW. UEW, in Bellow's model of communication, feedback is a necessary element. In Bellow's model of communication, feedback is a necessary element.
False.
It is false. Valley View, in the Shannon-Weaver model, the source and encoder are always the same entity. In the Shannon-Weaver model of communication, the source and encoder are always the same entity.
True.
No. Next set will focus on leadership styles, power dynamics, etc. The next set of questions will focus on leadership styles, power, etc. Beginning with the University of Education, Winneba. Servant leadership aligns closely with transformational leadership in its emphasis on vision and change. Servant leadership aligns closely with transformational leadership and its emphasis on vision and change.
True.
Please speak into the microphone.
True.
It is not true. Valley View. Democratic leadership is more participatory than servant leadership. Democratic leadership is more participatory than servant leadership.
false statement.
It is a false statement. Next set will focus on forecasting methods, specifically barometric forecasting. Barometric forecasting. UEW. Barometric forecasting requires the use of complex mathematical models and simulations. Barometric forecasting requires the use of complex mathematical models and simulations.
False.
Yes. Valley View. Barometric forecasting methods are most effective for long-term strategic planning. Barometric forecasting methods are most effective for long-term strategic planning.
False.
Yes. For the next set of questions, I'm beginning with you, Valley View. Next set, you are beginning for us. We are going to do something on the Public Expenditure and Financial Accountability Framework, PEFA. Now your major question, Valley View. All right. PEFA assesses public financial management systems based on a set of 31 performance indicators. PEFA assesses public financial management systems based on a set of 31 performance indicators.
It's a true statement.
It is indeed a true statement. University of Education, Winneba. The 7 pillars of PEFA group the indicators thematically but do not influence scoring methodology. The 7 pillars of PEFA group the indicators thematically but do not influence scoring methodology.
True.
It is true. Let's do something on what you presented on earlier. I'm going to ask you questions on sustainability, ESG issues. Valley View. Carbon footprint and waste minimization are central to the social dimension of a triple bottom line. Carbon footprint and waste minimization are central to the social dimension of the triple bottom line.
True.
No. University of Education, Winneba. Supplier diversity and fair wages are concerns of the economic dimension of the triple bottom line. Supplier diversity and fair wages are key concerns of the economic dimension of the triple bottom line.
False.
It is false. And now for our last set of questions, let's do something on series and sequence, or sequence and series. Valley View, an infinite geometric series with common ratio of 1 and non-zero first term will diverge. True or false? An infinite geometric series with common ratio r equals 1 and non-zero first term will diverge. True or false?
True.
It is true. And now the last question for this round goes to the University of Education, Winneba. An infinite geometric series with a first term a equals 0 always converges to 0 regardless of the value of r. An infinite geometric series with a first term a equals 0 always converges to 0 regardless of the value of r.
True.
It is true. That brings us to the end of round 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually getting there. We have one final round to go, and that round will determine who wins the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take the scores, but we are reminded that the next semi-final contest is going to feature the SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, who are the Northern Zone champions. They come face to face with the University of Ghana, who are the Southeast Zone champion. We'll take the scores for round 5. At the end of round 5, Valley View had 8 points, University of Education had 11 points. And now to our riddles. 6 in all, open to the 2 schools. The first school to ring their bell will be required to give an answer in 10 seconds. If you get it correct, you have either 5.4 points or 3 points, depending on the clue at which you answer. Please, are you okay? Let me hear the bell from Valley View. And that of UEW. Okay, so we go straight into riddle number 1. Riddle number 1. I'm a legal principle of contractual interpretation. I am particularly relevant in cases involving exclusion clauses or limitations of liability, insurance policies, and standard form contracts. As a Latin word, my meaning is against the profferer, are mostly invoked when a contract term is ambiguous and the ambiguity cannot be resolved. Also known as interpretation against the draftsman, I dictate that University of Education, Winneba.
Contra preferentem.
Contra preferentem rule is correct. That is correct. They answered on the third clue. It is 3 points. 3 points. Riddle number 2. Riddle number 2. I am a phenomenon in organizational behavior, decision-making psychology, or management. I was first described by Barry Storr in a 1976 paper. I am driven by the desire to justify past investments. I cause decision makers to persist with projects or strategies. Valley View University.
Sunk cost fallacy.
No, I won't take that. I cause decision makers to persist with projects or strategies that are no longer viable due to previous investments. I'm a psychological phenomenon where individuals continue investing resources in a failing course of action, often due to strong emotional attachment. University of Education, Winneba.
Escalation of commitment.
Yes. Escalation of commitment. They answered on the fourth clue, 3 points. Riddle number 3. Riddle number 3. I am a useful technique for examining the different drivers of return on equity for a business. I allow financial managers to focus on the key metrics of financial performance individually, and thereby to identify strengths and weaknesses within the company that should be addressed. My name derives from a company which began using this formula in the 1980s. An explosive salesman, Donaldson Brown, submitted an internal efficiency report to his superiors in 1912 that contained the formula. I am a financial tool that breaks down a company's return on equity into 3 components. UEW.
DuPont analysis.
Yes, DuPont analysis. They answered on the fourth clue, 3 points. 3 points. Riddle number 4. Riddle number 4. I am a tax or levy introduced originally in 2013 for the calendar years of 2013, 14, and 15. Following the expiration of the initial period, I was extended by successive governments and was recently extended to 2018 in the 2025 budget statement by the Minister of Finance. As a levy, Typically applied to imports that are considered non-essential or luxury goods. Valley View University.
Luxury goods tax.
Luxury goods tax.
No, it's not luxury goods tax. I continue for the benefit of UEW. As a levy, typically applied to imports that are considered non-essential or luxury goods. I impose a levy of 1 to 2% on the cost, insurance, and freight value of certain imported items. I typically apply to imports that are considered non-essential. Who am I? University of Education, Winneba.
Special import levy.
What were you doing on your head? Is that what brought the answer? Because it's correct. It is correct. It is a special import levy. Riddle number 5. Riddle number 5. A set of political economic policies in economic policy. I typically take one of 3 forms: raising taxes to fund spending, cutting spending while raising taxes, or reducing both spending and taxes. I'm often used by government that find it difficult to borrow or meet their existing obligations to pay back loans. Governments use me in place when their public debt is so large that the risk of default or the inability to service the required payments on its obligations becomes a real possibility. I am a set of economic measures aimed at reducing budget deficit through spending cuts, tax increases, or a combination of the two. Who am I? Valley View.
This is the fiscal policy.
No, it is not fiscal policy. UEW.
Tax austerity.
What?
Tax austerity.
Mention the second word.
Tax austerity.
Spell it.
AUSTERITY.
Your spelling is correct of the word I'm looking for. You are right. It is austerity, austerity, and that is correct. And now the last riddle. Last riddle for the contest. I am an internet marketing strategy. I target unpaid search traffic, usually referred to as organic results, rather than direct traffic, referral traffic, social media traffic, or paid traffic. I consider how search engines work, what people search for, keywords used, and which engines are preferred by a target audience. I help small businesses compete with larger ones, builds credibility, and increases traffic. I work by aligning a website page with a search engine's ranking algorithm. I'm the process of improving the quality and quantity of website traffic to a website or a web page. University of Education, Winneba.
Search engine optimization.
It is a perfect score. 6 out of 6. They answered on the last clue 3 points. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 6. Scores for round 6. All right. So whilst we wait for the scores, UW, how did you do it?
Sir, it's actually just by the grace of God, sir.
What do you say?
It's just by the grace of God.
Just by the grace of God. Valley View, what happened in the last round?
So we are grateful because this is initially we were all due for internship. We didn't plan to come.
Okay.
Our lecturers, who we are grateful to, Madam Amma and the Dean, Dr. Ivan Sokansi, and all academic board, we are grateful to them for the 2-month preparation for this content. And where we have come so far, we are grateful. You know that I go with my motto that with determination, failure can never dismantle the flag of success.
Yeah,
So since we are determined, we will come back and come back stronger.
So we continue to give thanks to our coaches, our lecturers. Madam Amma Kakari, special mention has been made to you, and then the Dean of the Business School for Valley View. Appreciation also to the School of Business of the University of Education, Winneba, the Dean, Professor Odro, and everybody who has been part of this. Yes. And your coaches, Mr. Gajo as well. Thank you for doing this for your team. To all the coaches who are part of this Tertiary Business Sense Challenge, I say thank you so much for making their dream a reality and for putting them out in the public. They'll be forever grateful to you for this service that you are doing for them. We'll take the scores for round 6. In round 6, Valley View had no score, UEW had 18 points. And now the final results. Ladies and gentlemen, the results are out. At the end of the contest, Valley View University had 34.33. University of Education Winneba had 80.83. Congratulations to you, University of Education Winneba. Valley View University, hard luck, you could not progress to the finals, but I believe you go prepare and come back stronger next year, since majority of the team members are in level 300. Congratulations for coming this far. It's a new record for your school. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd time in a row, the University of Education Winneba will be at the national finals. Congratulations to you, UEW. I'll see you at the national final. Ladies and gentlemen, the die is cast. 2 schools out of 3. 1 final contest to go. University of Education Winneba is in the final. KNUST is in the final. 2 zonal champions, Southwest Zone and Middle Zone. It'll be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure coming your way. On behalf of my studio audience and all those who watch from online, our next contest will be between the Northern Zone champion and the Southeast Zone champion, SD Dombo versus the University of Ghana. On behalf of my production team led by Franklin Sowa, Yvonne Ais, Stella Logosu, George Danso, David Ebo, and SJC Malik Haruna, Emmanuel Amamo, Agnes Ado, Ivan Smith, Alfred Akweje, Felix Tai, Daniel, or David Niama Abubakar, Ivan Stayuba, Samuel Ansa, Emmanuel Adi, Esther J, Kwame Lawe, Benny, Caleb, Jesse, and Walali. It's always a pleasure. Of course, I cannot live without recognizing my distinguished judges. 3 brilliant minds, solid by all standards. Albert Nia Itegu, Rachel Na Hemans, and then Dixon Asari. Thank you so much for being part of this. So until I come your way again with the next contest between the University of Ghana and SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, my name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule, and I love academic violence. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
The very essence of leadership is to become more. At ICAG, we stand for leadership and we are inspired to offer more. Leadership stands up to be answerable. We use our national and international conferences to tell our story and hold ourselves to high global benchmarks. Leadership is where brilliance is rewarded. We reward brilliance with scholarships for postgraduate students. Leadership thrives on fresh ideas. Our Tertiary Business Sense Challenge makes you see business from a different perspective. Leadership is not about today. We keep an eye on tomorrow by providing internships in high-ranked institutions to inspire the next generation of business leaders. Leadership is acquiring ATSWA, CA Professional, Post-Chartered Diploma from ICAG. ICAG, well,